another day. All right, let's ride. What up, what up? No playing this ride. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, and welcome back if you've been here before. Saxonville. Jacksonville Jaguars won their playoff game today. Their wild card game. It was a wild ass game. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills. You need about 2 more L's in your name to go with those 4 Super Bowls you lost. Fuck y'all, and fuck your mafia, and fuck your dumbass logo, and fuck O.J. Simpson. I hate that motherfucker too. Anyway, on to this bum ass news that happened this week. Some weirdo shit happened over the holiday. But apparently, they found there's a teenage dude in Texas. He broke into this chick's house, and they caught him on a video camera. He broke into the house, went through a couple of rooms. I guess went to the bedroom, and she woke up and there was a mysterious stain on her sheet. Now I guess they were trying to keep it PG because they didn't want their readers to know what that stain was. But it is my guess that it was I say a sexual bodily fluid, because they say the cat walked out and he had her dress halfway up or some weird shit. He had either half a dress on and he was walking around in the house with his pants down, some goofy shit like that. So I say that to say this: if you know you got a crazy cousin or something, get them some help. Everybody in their family has one person, or they may have heard of a relative that's like a little bit. They ain't all the way there, man. So get your people some help, man. Like if I knew of that crazy individual in my family, I would tell them you got to get your shit together. I don't know where your mom at or whatever. I know it ain't like back in the day where you was keeping that crazy uncle in the basement, and the kids don't know like why Uncle John live with grandma. He like 40 years old, like, and everybody like, yo, John got issues. Leave John alone. Give him back his toys, and he'll go on about his business. So, if you have people in your family with issues, please help them out. Encourage them to get some type of treatment, because I'm an advocate for mental health. I've worked around it, and I really think that it helps people, and it takes all kinds. You got people that are small and petite, young, you got big, strong, old people. Everybody needs to be able to have their mental health dealt with. So if you have anyone in your family or anybody in your circle that may have an issue, help them out, point them in the right direction, because there's no reason for somebody to be out here cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you can help them out. Or whether it's them dealing with depression or some things that may have happened in their past, help your people out, man. Ultimately, if you want to be selfish about it, ultimately, you're creating a better environment for you and the rest of the world. Please help all folks that you know with mental illnesses. And there's another incident over the New Year. This teenage girl, apparently she's being accused of killing her boyfriend. Over what, I don't know, but apparently New Year's Eve is breakup season. I don't know if that's preemptive before Valentine's Day for the fellas. Like, listen, we've been kicking it for a few months, but coming into the new year, I think I want to wipe my slate clean. So we can't do this no more. Or it may be something for the ladies. They may have that thing too. But I've been hearing recently more that, people go out to New Year's parties. I heard on 2 different occasions of people going to New Year's parties and a couple having a big fight. Yeah, I guess they go ahead and call it quits because they just bringing in the new year with some bullshit. And, I think it's better to cut your losses before Valentine's Day. I mean, if you're not really invested and shit ain't going right, you can't enjoy the holiday. Why wait? I mean, people don't really get together on MLK Day. Why wait? Rethink it. Come back. Let's come back to this after President's Day. Let me get a day off to cool down, and we can talk about it. And maybe we can get back together. But don't go into the holiday with a bum if you ain't got to, man. In other political news, 45, man. 45. I said something a while back about being careful who you stand next to and who are you willing to stand next to. That shit goes both ways, man. if you know that you're a foul individual, you have to be aware of people that are willing to stand next to you. Now, most people ain't like me. Like I'll tell you I ain't shit. But most people aren't that self-aware. They're not that conscious of them being who they are. And I guess that gets people through the day, whatever, cool. But for this individual, 45, you know you ain't shit when somebody else that ain't shit was in your corner with you, and now they calling you treasonous for some shit you probably did while you were next to them. If that makes sense. Like, you know I ain't shit, but you willing to stand next to me while I ain't shit, and turn making you not be shit. But then you go and say I did something that was treasonous, which bro, you were with me the whole time. That's weird to me. But then again, I wouldn't stand next to somebody like that. And to be clear, apparently, the current commander-in-chief is getting into it back and forth over social media with his advisor, former advisor, and the bigwig over at Breitbart, Steve Bannon. Who I think he's a piece of trash anyway. But still, like, it just goes to show you the type of people that are willing to be around a certain individual just because of his power. Like, since you've been separated from that situation, you had nothing but bad things to say about bro. But when you were standing next to him, you were shitting on everybody else. So where's your character at? If I'm cool with Eddie, right, and then me and Eddie go our separate ways, if you ask me about Eddie, I'm going to tell you, you need to go fucking talk to Eddie. I don't have shit to say about him. But because you ain't shit and you willing to stand next to your boy who ain't shit, now you just having a shit flinging contest. Yeah, you just got to check yourself, man, and use this as an example in your own personal life. Don't be trash if you can help it. Being trash ain't where it's at, man. Do a self-assessment and realize you trash. Stop being trash. If I could give the world one lesson, I would give it in the voice of a Southern high school football coach. Something blunt and direct. And I would just say, hey, man, don't be dumb. You're going to be dumb? Dumb shit's going to happen, buddy. So don't be fucking dumb. And that's my advice for the rest of the world in whatever language you speak. Don't be an asshole. Don't be stupid. Good things should come your way. Let me see what else happened. Am I done with news already? I might be done with news already. Oh, yeah, real quick. I was talking to my significant other, my lovely wife, the other day. And we were talking about, the year in sexual harassment after everything. We were listening to Uncle Murder, the 2017 wrap-up, which is fire, by the way. I think we had just got finished listening to that, and I think we were watching the news or something, and about the allegations and everything that came out against all these guys. And I just got to thinking, it's weird to me that we just now started listening to women. Like, just now. Like, in my lifetime, you didn't really hear, I heard about sexual harassment. I would say I would hear about it, I guess, when I was in my early teens. So I say from maybe 12 to 13 on up, I remember that far back hearing about shit about sexual harassment or whatever. But it was never really dealt with. It was said, and then that was it, and it was forgotten about. And then even with the inequality in female wages and everything, it's stuff I never really think about or thought about until I was in the space with women and they voiced their concerns. And I was like, damn, it's like we just now, and you see more prominent men going out and saying women are the shit. They deserve equal pay. They deserve equal representation. They deserve equal footing and standing next to the guys. Like, as a child, I didn't hear that growing up. And I know that it was a generation before my parents' generation at the time that was mostly on TV and in the media. So I guess they still had that old school way of looking at shit. But you never really heard about anything like, I guess, empowering for women. It's kind of like women play their roles and then that's just it. Now, I grew up with two working parents. So my mother worked my whole life as far as I know. Like, I saw the dynamic in my household of having two parents working. They both holding down everything and both playing their respective roles and, living a decent life. So I never really was around to where I would hear about the complaints about wages. Like, my mother never talked about it. I guess she was satisfied at her position at work, and she was satisfied with the money she was making. So I never personally heard anybody say it until a year or so back. One of my homegirls, B said something about it, and it made me actually really think. In my profession, I worked with females, and then I haven't. And currently, right now, I'm not around really that many women, so I don't get to hear the input about all the movements and stuff going on, and what's going on with their progression. But I see it on TV, and I just thought about it, like, for all the coverage and media this shit is getting, makes me feel that we weren't really listening to y'all. Cause I'm thinking, like, how long have we been ignoring this shit? It ain't like sexual harassment just fucking happened. It ain't like sexual assault and all this shit just fucking. It's been going on. I guess since the corporate structure started actually letting women in, it's been going on, and nobody's really even said anything. Like, even if you think back to like the caveman times, like the old joke was like, you club a chick over the head and you just drag her to the cave. Like, I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz, and they were talking about just the way women have been portrayed in the media for years, because they talk about rape culture a lot, and I'm just not really getting hip to their podcast, but they were saying how they talked about this shit episodes before the allegations came out. So I just think it's weird, and it's sad, because I'm realizing as I'm saying this that, like, I just started noticing this shit. So we got to pay attention more, because these ladies are raising our kids. I got daughters, and I want them to be the baddest motherfuckers on the planet, so they can give me some badass grandkids. So I have to be more aware of the issues women face, because I'm raising two, and I'm raising two young black women. So I ain't gonna say we'll see, but I'm going to figure out the best way to help them become the best individuals possible, because shit out here is it's progressing, but I still don't think it's where it needs to be. There's still little slick shit said about women and all that, and I want my little women I'm raising to be able to be like, hey, you may think that's it, but we about to change the game. So equal platform from everybody. That's what I've had in my household, so that's what I want to see out in the world. If everybody's equal, everybody should be cool, la-di-da, all that trash. What else in news? Oh, shit, so apparently the writers of an old 3LW song are trying to sue Taylor Swift for that Shake It Off song. The part where she says the player's going to hate, and all that shit. And my reaction to that, like, most of the time when you hear shit like this in music, you be like, man, that's some bullshit. They're broke, that is trying to get money. And that shit, that may very well be the case. But my attitude on that shit is, you damn right, get your money. Get your damn. If you wrote that and you feel like they pilfered that from you, get your damn money. I haven't talked too much about the culture vulture shit on here, but I guess I'll address it now. Now, while they said, I forgot the exact word they used. Now I wish I could remember the word, but they're just saying it's basically something that's commonly used in language. And I'm thinking, nah, cuz if it's commonly used in language, it's taken from that song, because I never heard players they going to hate. I heard a player hater, I heard a player hater degree, all that, but I never heard it in the way that 3LW put it in that song. And then, I could say damn near 20 years later, Taylor Swift come out and she got the players going to hate, and she's probably still gonna make a shit ton of money off this song. Now, if that's the case, go and get your money, man. Fuck that, because for years, and I feel like if you're gonna utilize the culture, acknowledge it. And unfortunately for her in this situation, in order for her to acknowledge it, she got to pay them people. And as an artist and as a person who apparently writes a lot of her songs, which is what I was told, I would expect her to respect that. Cut that check. Get them people their money. Because at the least they influenced you to write the hook for one of the biggest songs of your career. At least that I heard. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan or whatever, so I don't really know what she's doing out in these streets, but I heard that shit everywhere. I heard that song for like the whole year it came out. And with her music being like the poppy, I guess the radio-friendly music, that shit's going to play everywhere on repeat. It's going to be one of the 20-something songs they have in rotation. So pay them people. You owe that. And I'm saying this as a black person who sees black culture being put in black terminology, being put in all types of fucking commercials and all this other shit, and then be not one black person in the commercial. That shit bothers me. It makes me feel a certain way. It's like, I'm going to take this, take that, take it slowly, and the next thing you know, There's no black people in the commercial, but you got this hip hop backdrop, and we not even in the fucking commercial. If you're gonna borrow, pay your taxes, because when the young black kids are making this music, especially back when it was, well, it's probably still sample heavy, but when it was primarily sample heavy, sometimes people can't get songs to clear because people don't like the genre of fucking music that's sampling the record. And, I mean, and that's their right. But my thing is if it's supposed to be art, let that go. You created it for it to be experienced by people, and by you letting their sample go through, it may turn somebody else on to the original piece of work. So it kind of irritates me when I hear shit like that, like, oh, I couldn't get the sample cleared, so I can't use the song. Nah, cuz, and my thing with that is, like, she should pay them people just on the fact that there's no way that part of the song even enters her vernacular if that 3LW song isn't made. Because nobody said that since, and nobody said it before. If that's the case, somebody would have probably came after them for it, or somebody would have came after Taylor Swift for it with them to get those funds. So I definitely think she should pay the people. She got the money anyway, and I feel like they helped her, man. So pay them people that money, man. Pay them people. You know goddamn well you heard that song and wrote that. There's no other way in hell, Miss Swift, that you could have got that song in your brain without that 3LW song and the girl saying numbers to numbers on the song. No way in hell. What else? I was also talking to my wife about prison, and about how we were talking about prison sentences or something. I don't know. We watched the news a lot because I've been off late. So we were watching news or ID channel about people getting murked and all this shit. And I thought about prison sentences. And I was like, if somebody killed a family member of mine, you sitting in jail don't do shit for me. Maybe it's because I'm from Duval, Saxonville. Maybe it's because I'm from Duval. Maybe it's because I spent, time close to the streets or whatever. Maybe because of my background. I'm not trying to hear that, oh yeah, we're going to lock them up, we're going to go to court, then we're going to decide whether or not they belong in jail. That don't work for me. Like, I need something else. If you take one of mine, I want one of yours. That's my mentality. Everybody's not going to agree with it. Too bad, so sad, I don't give a shit. But you don't, in my brain, get to take one of mine and then you just get to go sit in a jail cell. I think if you wrong a person, that person should be able to have some say-so in your punishment. If you break my arm, I want to break your arm. You don't need to go to jail. Just let my arm heals, I break your fucking arm. And we going about our business. If you broke my arm, son, I'm going to break your shit. If you steal from me, and this is all, if it's been proven in the court of law. I can still say I don't mind the court system. If you can prove it, okay, cool. Now you break in my house and take my shit. You going to jail for 6 months or a year or however. Don't really do shit for me. All you doing is sitting in the cell, wasting time, being around other criminals, doing some work for the government for a ridiculously low wage, if that. So all you really doing is working for the people. Like, in a way, you kind of get pimped because you call somebody breaking your shit, you call the police, the government lock them up, the government put them in jail and put them to work. Nah. I want their wages for the next 5 years. I want 50% of your wages for the next 5 years. Put me on child support. Put them on child support. I want that money for the next 5-something years. You going to jail ain't gonna do shit for me. Like, I want you to really make this shit burn. Let them get a job if they already don't have one, and then I want half their wages. You sitting in jail, that don't really make me feel bad as a citizen. That ain't doing shit for me. Take your ass back to work and give me half that moolah. Give me half that moolah. Give me half that money. I needs that. Fuck you sitting wasting time in jail. Get out here and rehabilitate yourself. Maybe the fact that you gotta pay me for the next 5 or so years will make you realize not to do stupid shit like that no more. And you'll stop somebody else from robbing somebody. Like, hey, bro. Hey, don't rob the house. You want to be on support for 5 years? Don't do that shit. Why would I want you sitting in a fucking jail cell with a bunch of other criminals learning how to be a criminal? You kill somebody from that family should be able to kill you. And it don't have to be nothing like gruesome. I don't need to be able to walk up to you on the side of the street. But if you're going to put him in a motherfucking chair anyway, at least let me push the button, hit the switch. You killing that motherfucker, that don't mean shit to me. That's something you did. Somebody else who has nothing to do with my situation took out revenge. That don't transfer to me. You take one of mine, if they go into the chair, they go into the chamber, I want to hit the fucking button. It'll make me feel better. And you sitting in the fucking jail cell for 20 something years or 30 years or whatever. Nah, cuz I want to hit that button, man, and get you the fuck up out of here. That jail cell shit don't work for me, man. That's trash in my eyes. Prison, say fuck that. An eye for an eye, a toe for a toe, a paycheck for thievery. And you know how I feel about anything sexual. If you been out here raping people, you should get that branded on you like a damn scarlet letter, and they should put you somewhere with however they want to do it. Put you somewhere and let people rape you. That's how I feel about that. I'm fucked up like that, but you've been out here raping multiple people, then that's what needs to happen to you. That's just how I feel about that. Well, yeah, if you kill me, I need that. I need to be able to get you back or your family back somehow. Somebody's gonna feel my pain. Fuck that jail shit. Somebody gonna feel my damn pain. Now, what else happened in the lovely world of news? I know I got some other bullshit on here. Oh, also, pro tip for the folks out there: if you listen to this and you do like a podcast, or if you just want to keep notes, when you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook or the interweb somewhere, if you see something you want to talk about, there's usually like an icon where you can go to save it or share it, whatever. Go to the share icon. And I know if you have an iPhone, it works, and just share it to your notes so you can go back and look at the article. And whenever you do what you got to do, you can just go check it out there without you having to save like a page, or you don't want to miss it. You might forget about it. That's what I do. Like I'll label it. I'll label like a folder or whatever. Then if I go on the net, I'll see something I like, I want to talk about. I'll share it to the notes, and then it'll just be there, and you can look at it whenever. That's a pro tip, as my homeboy Yamas would say, I guess. So what else happened? Dubai Police Department has hover bikes. That's fun to know. I see danger. Like Dubai got all the cool shit. If you've never been there, that is an amazing place. It's extra dope. But don't let the rappers fool you, man. That's one side. There's always another side to big cities like that. And I don't give a damn how much cool shit you got. It's still hot. It is still like 1,000,000 fucking degrees. So that cool shit is nice. Like I seen Bugattis and Ferraris outside the Dubai Mall, all that. I seen all that shit. But when you walk outside, it's still like 1,000,005 fucking degrees. I like Dubai. It's cool. I think it's a great place to visit because all the dope shit they have. But people will talk about it without mentioning that heat. Especially all these lying ass rappers. That's if they even went over there. Cause I don't see how you can go to Dubai and make a whole song and not mention that goddamn heat. And most rappers, if you go over there, flying like you've been to Dubai, you broke by Dubai standards anyway. If you really know anything about the amount of money over there, they go over there, they regular ass people. Broke. What else we got? Oh yeah, rest in peace to my man Craig Sager, but his family's having some issues. There's a legal battle for his will. The wife of his second marriage is serving the kids with papers so they don't contest the will, even though the children had no intention of doing so. That just tells you like that death is a mess. Like death, when you talk about it, we a lot of times we just talk about the actual loss of the individual, but a lot of times the fallout makes it that much more worse because you have family members clamoring for shit, talking about what they feel like they deserve or what they feel like they're owed or whatever. Hey man, I know death is often sudden, but I feel like if you have an inkling that you're on your way out, you got to get your affairs settled. I don't know what I would want in my will, but hopefully I would never be in a situation like he was. Like one family, all my shit just go to them. There's really nothing to discuss. It's all said and done. Boom, hey. You get this, you get that, you get that. It's split up equally, and then y'all go on with y'all lives and do great things in my memory. But it doesn't always happen like that for everybody. And this shit here is just sad. Like the kids have to go through this. Like they have to deal with this while coping with the death of their father. I think it's pitiful. I think the worst thing is that it got out. I know I'm talking about it, but I'm not talking about it for the purposes of using his name, but the purposes of speaking about what happens when people go. Because I've seen this like in normal families, people who don't even have a lot of money. A family member goes and all of a sudden shortly after, people start divvying up shit, and that creates a rift between family members. So it's a sad situation, man. It's sad. But I'm gonna stick with sports real quick. And what else? My guy, LeVar for president, 2020. LeVar for president, goddammit. LeVar landed in Lithuania. She received a warm welcome from all the Lithuanian media and sports fans over there. So for everybody talking shit about his boys not being nothing, look at him ball. Look at it. Look at it. No, I really like what he's doing, blazing his own path, creating a lane for people. You can't be mad at that. He's still finding a way to be successful in the face of everybody wanting him to fail, man. So kudos to him and his family and everything. Shout out to them. What else happened? Oh, the Cleveland Browns threw a 0-16 parade. Not the fans, rather. I don't know how much the organization had to do with it, but that's loyalty. And that's something we could deal more with in Jacksonville, man. We need to stop being so critical of these players, man. Especially the QB. Now, I know he makes mistakes, and today was one of the first times I got to really watch him for a whole game. And I see that he makes some mistakes, but I'm looking at it as it's his first playoff game. I know people that have been watching him, throughout the years are going to be less patient than me. I get that. I understand it. Cool. But appreciate what you have. And people realize that is a hard fucking job to be the quarterback of a professional football team. Not only, have to make sure that you have the play right in your brain, you have to make sure that you communicate that play correctly and effectively to the people that are going to be running said play, right? And then you have to go and execute that play with the defense trying to stop you from execute that play all in motion. So from whatever the coach gets you to the huddle, you have to process that, get in the huddle, make sure that everybody else understands what's going on while the clock is ticking inside the stadium with people yelling at you. Then you have to go make sure everybody's lined up. You have to look at the defense, assess what they're doing, and you may or may not have to get out of that play before you even start it. After that whole process of having to get the play, get it in your brain, go disseminate the information to the rest of the guys on your team, then going out there to execute while somebody's trying to stop you, you may have to change that play. Or maybe you don't see it, you call the play, and you have to quickly go from what was your main target and drop it off to your check down. And this all happens in a matter of seconds, like a little less than a minute. So people, you got to realize this is a hard fucking job. And your ability to execute is going to depend on the guys in front of you. You have great athletes in front of you trying to stop other great athletes from coming to get you. You have to, the weather dynamic. It's a hard job. So let's ease up on our QB and support our team. It's just support your teams, everybody, man. Even if I don't like your team. Like you're a bum-ass Packers fan, or you're like a bum-ass Red Sox fan, a bum-ass Detroit Pistons fan, a Boston Celtics fan, a bum-ass Florida Gators or Miami Hurricanes fan. Like, I don't like your team. Fuck your team. I hope all their team buses and planes break down. I hope they're late to games and practices. If it's a college team, I hope all the athletes fail their classes. I hate them. I don't like them at all. Like, I hope the cafeteria lady in their food facility gets food poisoning. Like, I don't like none of these teams, but I want you to like them and support them. And the fans for the Cleveland Browns are giving everybody a message. And this is, like, I've been in the city where there's no fucking football team. Like, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I lived in Virginia where there's no fucking team. At the time I got to San Diego, the team fucking left. So if you are lucky enough to have a team anywhere near you, embrace that shit. Embrace that team, man. Look at what Cleveland's doing. 0-16, they throwing them a fucking parade. They like, hey, we didn't win shit, but fuck it, we about to get this draft pick, and hopefully we can make it work, make it twerk. So I feel like if we as fans embrace that, especially in Jacksonville, like, if we lose, fuck it, we'll be here next year. We have a team. Embrace it. Go through it, because when they win like they're winning now, it's going to be that much sweeter, man. Look at the Patriots. The Patriots weren't dog shit for 20-something years, and now they're one of the greatest franchises in NFL history. And they have bandwagon fans, and they have loyal fans. But those loyal fans went through that ride the whole time. So, stick with your team, man, with the thick end of thing and all the bullshit. You don't got to bash them. Like, I understand voice your frustrations, but don't completely kill them. Kill other people's teams. That's what they're for. That's what rivals are for. Fuck the Titans. Yeah. What else? Oh, speaking of Cleveland, Kyrie Irving. So when the Kyrie Irving shit first popped about him wanting to trade, I was pissed. I'm like, I didn't even root for y'all in the finals. If anything, Cleveland's a rival of the Bulls. So I shouldn't want y'all to be good. It just didn't make sense that he would leave a team like that. Like, you got a good chance of competing for a championship again. Like, you're going to be in the finals if that team stays together. Like, why would you leave? I didn't understand. I thought it was a stupid move. But then something came out. He finally spoke, and the reason that he made that move is because apparently there was a trade situation put together to get Paul George and Eric Bledsoe for him. So when he heard that, he's like, "Oh, you don't want me here. I'm out. Like, why would I stay here if you're trying to trade me? I hit the game-winning basket in the finals." Now, LeBron made some plays. Don't get it fucked up. LeBron James made some excellent plays. But I hit the game-winning shot, fam. You want to trade me for another wing, another point? How is that even going to work? Neither one of those guys can do what I do to a defense. Neither one of those guys is a better shooter than me. So why would you trade me? So I would, if I was Kyrie, I'd be hurt by that too. And I don't, like, I honestly, I can't blame him for not wanting to stay. And then the situation they got going on in Boston ain't a bad, even though I hate the Celtics, it's not a bad situation for them to be in. They have a good young roster. And I feel like they won because the Cavs got, I think, like a draft pick, and they got Jay Crowder, and they got somebody else, but he's playing nowhere to the level that Kyrie Irving's going to play. And you don't know what you're going to get with that draft pick. And then now with the Celtics doing what they're doing, that draft pick's probably going to be low. I mean, it's not going to be a high draft pick. So I don't know if they're preparing for LeBron to leave so they can rebuild, but I just think it was a bad move on their part to even consider that. Like, you know, there's other guys you can get out there to fulfill those roles. You don't have to get a superstar. You already going to choke the shit out your salary, you know, as you are right now with having LeBron and K-Love and some of those guys there. Now they got IT. That's right, they got IT, who's been hurt half the fucking season. So it didn't really, he's a defensive liability. It didn't really match up to me, that trade. It didn't make any sense that they put themselves in that situation, but it worked out for Kyrie, so kudos to Kyrie for taking his career in his own hands, because I feel like athletes should do that more. I get frustrated sometimes when I see guys leave teams, and it's because I'm being selfish and I like the situation that we're in, and it made it easy, you know, it made it appealing to me as the fan, as the consumer. But at the end of the day, the owners are going to do what they're going to do. The GMs are going to do what they're going to do. These athletes a lot of times can't really make moves or make decisions on their career, so if they can do it, fuck it. Go ahead and bust a move, especially if it's going to be something better for you in a situation where you've been contributing and you don't feel like you're appreciated. So kudos to Kyrie for that. I think it was a good look on his part, taking, you know, control of his own shit. Oh shit! So I know I'm talking about sports, but I forgot this shit real quick. So there was a car chase in L.A. Apparently this happens. I don't want to say often, but it's known to be happening in L.A. where there's like a high speed chase. So my thing is, if you're gonna be in a high speed chase, like, I would want to be in like a vehicle that's gonna blend in, you know, a fast vehicle that if you get away, you may be able to get somewhere where your vehicle looks like everything else that's on the road, so you don't stick out. But these motherfuckers went on a high speed chase in a U-Haul pickup truck. I don't know how they thought they were gonna get away, or where they thought they were gonna go, but from what I know, pickup trucks are notoriously bad on gas, and it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb with that big ass U-Haul logo on the side. So I don't know what their plans were. Like, that shit was stupid. And then they get out the car, and the guy just starts hugging the girl. It was a male and a female. And they just start hugging each other and wait for the police to come. And the cops still tased his ass. They lit his ass up with that taser, and which I thought was kind of weird. But I mean, I'm not a cop. I don't know how that works. From the video I'm looking at, it doesn't seem like he was gonna do anything violent. He just got finished hugging his chick, but they still hit his ass with that taser, and then they slammed her on the ground and put a knee in her back and arrested her ass too. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that part, with them having a tase, bro, or them having to, slam old girl on the street like that. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't have been running from the fucking police. You know, there's no chance you getting away in a goddamn U-Haul pickup truck in L.A. You were going to hit traffic at some point, you stupid bastard. But I don't think they had to slam old girl on the ground like that. I doubt she was even the one driving. So, yeah. But back to the sports shit. So I have a question for anybody out there who pays attention. I have a real question. And I'm going to call this the greatest hated. Right? This is my personal dilemma I was thinking about over the week. And if you could compare the two, with all their success, who is the greatest hated player or hated athlete of this era? And I'm saying this era because, for me, the obvious answer would be Muhammad Ali. I think Muhammad Ali was by far the most hated great athlete but I guess I'll say in my lifetime. I wasn't there alive to see him compete, but I was alive while he was alive, so I consider that in my lifetime. And I'm narrowing this down to two people, and because they've won. Like if it was just most hated right now, I would tell you right now, 100% that'd be CK7, Colin Kaepernick. But I'm not including him in this because he's not actively playing. And while he had a good career for the most part when he was playing, he's ridiculously talented. I can't call him great. I wouldn't put him in the great category. He'd have to win some more playoffs, win a Super Bowl, and MVP or something like that for me to put him in the great category. So the two athletes I'm talking about are both superstars, and they're both multiple-time champions. So my two most hated great athletes are LeBron James, Tom Brady. I want to know from you guys which one you guys think is the most hated. And I'm going to give you my opinion on it in a second. But once you hear this and once you listen to it all, you have your opinion, please let me know. Hit me at noplayinthisride@gmail.com, all lowercase, noplayinthisride@gmail.com, all lowercase, or noplay247 on Twitter. So that's capital N, lowercase o, capital P, lowercase lay, noplay247 on Twitter. Hit me there and let me know who is your greatest hated athlete of, I say, this generation. We'll say of the 2000s. Yeah, the greatest, most hated athlete of the 2000s. And I'm talking about LeBron James and Tom Brady. And I'm thinking about it because you have to look at it on two scales. On one scale, you got Tom Brady, who came in off the bench and has been winning and been hated ever since like the Raiders game where he pump faked, he fumbled the ball and it wasn't called a fumble, and it went on to spur this Patriots dynasty whose team's been indicated in cheating scandals and the Deflate Gate and shit like that. He's just a really hated guy, right? People hate him. They say, oh, they hate his wife. They hate his looks. They hate how he gets lucky. He's been called the GOAT, the greatest of all time as far as NFL. And he's also been called the luckiest of all time because of these plays that happen in big games that aid in his victory. If you think about it, the time he fumbled when playing Oakland, the interception that happened when he played the Seahawks, that catch that was made in the last Super Bowl when the Atlantic Falcons got gassed and they couldn't keep up with the pace, right? Now, to be fair, he's a multiple-time MVP. He beat the greatest, who I thought would be the greatest QB of all time, Peyton Manning. He beat him a lot. Multiple-time champion, multiple-time division and conference champion. Like, the guy's had a great career after being drafted in the 7th fucking round. There's a huge argument for Brady to win this, and the Patriots are like universally hated by every other football team. There's teams that don't even play in the division or the conference with the Patriots, and people just fucking hate. They hate the Patriots, and I would say that's mainly because of Tom Brady and Belichick and all the wins they got. So there's a huge argument for the greatest hated athlete of the 2000s to be Tom Brady. On the other side of that, you got LeBron James, who's been a highly touted athlete since his high school years, and who had the storybook, man. He was from Ohio, got drafted by the Cavaliers, came into the league playing for Cleveland, got to the finals, man, had him in the playoffs, only to leave without winning a ring, have a press conference to leave to go play in Miami, Florida with the Heat with a couple of his boys and win 2 rings and go to fucking 3 or 4 finals down there. And then to come back to Cleveland, left Miami, and then after him leaving Miami, takes Cleveland directly back to the finals for the next few years in a row, right? There's a if you look at it, he's a multiple MVP, multiple-time NBA champion, multiple finals MVP, holds a lot of records just like Brady. Who is the most hated between LeBron James, who has to deal with the whole leaving Cleveland fiasco, then the leaving Miami fiasco, and the constant comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, or the Tom Brady who gets compared to Joe Montana, and let's say John Elway or somebody who's the most hated. And if you ask me, while Brady is hated by like the whole fucking league, I will still say LeBron to me is the most hated, just because of the level of conversation around his name. Well, if you talk about who's the greatest, right? If you compare Tom Brady to Joe Montana, it may be like, I could see that potentially, or no, I don't see it, or yeah, maybe, or nah, Brady, we could say Brady, or whatever. It's acceptable, right? When you talk about him and MJ, that turns like a fucking full-blown argument. It's he left Cleveland, this, that, and the third. He's not clutch. Like to look at this awesome athlete and then only look at the chinks in his armor, like there had to be a degree of hate there. I feel like he is the most hated because he gets it from all sides, and I think he means more culturally to people, LeBron James does, than Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady to me is an American football player, a fantastic American football player. He's going to the Hall of Fame, no doubt. He's a legend, a living legend playing football right now. And then you have LeBron James, who means so much culturally. He's looked at as a lead figure culturally with the things he's done as far as, rocking the hoodies, wearing I Can't Breathe t-shirts, things like that. He's been more socially to people, I think, that Tom Brady has. Tom Brady, you don't really see him out in the limelight like that. Like, you may hear about he was spotted somewhere. Even with a supermodel wife, he's not in the media as much as LeBron James. So I feel like just as far as the media exposure alone that LeBron gets, I think he's more hated. And there's a potential for him to be hated on a global scale because he goes to the Olympics and fucking kills people, or he has in the past. Just destroys other teams. So I can say he's hated by multiple cities for leaving. So I would say LeBron James. I would say if I really look at it, LeBron James is the most hated athlete. It's a shame, and people feel like I hate him, but I just don't think he has a leg up on Kobe or Jordan right now. I think he should, but he doesn't. Physically, I think physically, of course, but I think it's the mental aspect. But in the next 20 years, I think he'll be looked at as either him and Kobe will be looked at as the greatest athletes of all time. Like Jordan still be there as far as the NFL, the NBA. As far as the NBA go, I think it'll be a toss-up between Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. And while I'm talking about this real quick, just like I said about appreciating the team, we got to appreciate these one-of-a-kind athletes we have. And me personally, I'm a big fan, but I'm also a critic of LeBron, but I'm going to have to slow down on that because I realize that when these athletes go, like as I was watching the retirement of Kobe's jerseys, as they go, and you criticize them and say they should have done that was a stupid pass, that was a dumb shot. We don't always appreciate them while they're here. They say give them the roses while they're here, right? And I'm telling you, when LeBron James plays his last game, it's going to be a fucking event. Unless he does something crazy like molest a kid or rape a chick or some shit like that or kill somebody, his last game is going to be an event just because of the things he's done on the court and the things he's done off the court that people don't talk about. Him putting kids through college, him building houses for people on HGTV and shit. Just the things that people don't talk about or maybe don't even know about. Like LeBron James is just a great motherfucker. If you really look at the meat and potatoes of of him in his entirety. So when he goes, it's going to be an event, man. So we got to try to do better about appreciating athletes while they're around and alive because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen on a flight, a car ride, a bar of soap, somebody crazy. You never know, a sickness. You never know what can happen to people. They could be here today, gone tomorrow. Let's try to appreciate these superstar athletes we got and just people in general while they're around. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. It's been great doing this for you guys. I think this is number 14. I apologize for the technical difficulties on the last one. I re-uploaded. If you're not aware, I did re-upload the episode and the issues were fixed. So one more thing real quick in reference to the Patriots. Don't let that bullshit fool you with the Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, Tom Brady shit. In my mind, that's a smoke screen. I'm thinking everything's all good in Patriot land. I think they put out that statement to add further confusion because all the people looking in are only going to draw them in close together and they want to execute. If he didn't push Jimmy Garoppolo out, hey, fuck it, Tom Brady did him a favor because now he's the starting quarterback in San Francisco. So, whatever. If that's the case, good luck, Brady. You got the kid a job, whatever. But don't fall for that shit. I hope Tennessee falls for it because I hope they beat the brakes off Tennessee. I really hate them motherfuckers. But, yeah, that's it, man. No Play in This Ride, hosted by me, Blackout. No Play in This Ride at gmail.com, all lowercase. No Play 247 at Twitter, capital N, lowercase O, capital P, L-A-Y. I do that again because I fucked it up. Capital O, fuck, I'm still messing it up. I'm going to do it again. Capital N, lowercase O, capital P, L-A-Y. No Play 247 at Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know. Greatest hated, LeBron or Brady? I'm going LeBron. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know if I'm wrong. If I forgot anybody, fuck them. They're not as important. I'm out, man. Y'all be good. Keep doing your New Year's shit. If you got a New Year's resolution, fuck it. You don't need a New Year's resolution. Be yourself, goddammit. That got you this far. Fellas, start getting your Valentine's Day stuff together now so you're not scrambling and you got to break up with a chick for Valentine's Day. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all be safe out there, man. MLK Day coming up. Celebrate it before they eradicate it. Leave it better than what you got it. Live, learn, laugh. Peace.